Hello and welcome to Revsportz and to yet another episode of discussing a very, very interesting format, Test 20. And now they have upped to one level with the Parity Rule. And every day I have been studying about the Parity Rule. I have written how important it could be for women's cricket going forward. But first of all, Boria, explain what's happening. I'm confused.
And I think Gaurav is actually following our pieces because clearly, but what he is doing is something interesting. Uh, Put it simple, 80 overs in a day. That's Funda 1.
Done.
So, two innings of 20 overs each.
Right.
So, basically, one team bats 20, the other team bats 20, and then you bat your second innings, followed by the second team. That's it. Out of the 40 overs, out of rather 80, 40 will be played by men, 40 will be played by women.
Right.
That's the basic funda at the moment. Now, here's the point. This entire 80 overs will constitute one game.
Right.
So, what in effect are you doing? You are making the men and women's games the eventual result dependent on a combination of both games.
Right.
So, your men's team has to do well, your women's team has to do well for your team to eventually go out and win. Suppose your women let the team down, or your men let the team down after the women have played very well, then you lose. Now, what I think they want to do, or where I think they are kind of following the OVEC model, is in this entire scheme, there will be one captain, one vice captain per team. Now,
Right.
that can be, from what I understand, they also want
Per
women
franchisee, is
leaders.
it one?
Correct. Per franchise, one captain, one vice captain. And among them, there will be one, not necessarily, but what I understand is obviously they will not have influence over the franchise, but they want one among the two, either the captain or the vice captain, to be a
Female.
woman. Now, clearly, I have seen this. I have seen during OVEC,
Yeah.
the women were far more committed, the women were far better, the women were far better leaders from what I had seen in Bhubaneswar. And Abhinav and I had a chat on this. Abhinav Bindra made this point to me that look, this mixed gender team, look how the girls are trying to push themselves that more. Now, if you think in terms of the macro picture, if a woman is able to kind of take a strategic leadership role, I think the incentive for that person will be way more
Yeah.
than a man.
Yeah.
So, in that sense, they are actually trying to empower. It is actually an attempt at parity. It is not tokenism. To what extent they will be successful is not something
Yeah,
I know.
of course.
But from the understanding about 11,000 registrations, etc., this could become a really significant way forward. So they are trying to address this whole criticism in cricket that we have about tokenism. ठीक है कर दिया. But that's not what the aim is here. So at every level, they are trying to address that. Initially, women's matches not in year one addressed. Initially, this leadership
Yeah.
point. So all of that is now getting addressed in real mix. And I'm also agreeable with what they're doing. That it's not mixed gender that you play together. No, it's
Correct.
unfair. It's
Correct.
unfair on the women, and you know
Correct.
it better than anyone. Whether it is the weight of the ball,
Yeah.
whether it is everything else, you cannot just mix things and say that women go need to
Absolutely.
go. It's unfair, biologically unfair. So what they are trying to do, two different games, but both clubbed together for one. It's like mixed shooting.
Yeah.
So the woman fails, the man can't pull it off, or the man fails, the woman can't pull it off.
Correct.
So it's kind of the mixed shooting format in the Olympic Games, and I think it's a very interesting addition.
Absolutely, and I think what I completely agree with you, Boria. I don't think I think every woman will agree that it's not that we have ever said we are, physiologically better than guys. We have all wanted a level playing field, and I think that's what,
Correct.
at least the whole concept-wise, they have been able to provide that level playing field. But also, see, the Olympics year is coming. How do you see something like a Test 20 contributing to that?
See, Olympics, it is now a rule, a mandate that you have to have 50-50.
Yeah.
50% in terms of participants also. Equal number of men and equal number of women. Equal number of events for men, equal number of events for women. All of this is now part of the IOC's mandate. Now, yes, we know that, 6 teams for men, 6 teams
Yeah.
for women. So these are two different competitions. But can there be a time when you actually have a mixed gender cricket event as well. I think these guys are offering, whether there is a nuance later, that okay, you do a 20 over match, 10 overs for women, 10 overs for men, and make it mixed. I would recommend these people to do that. Yes, you are doing Test 20, but is there a possibility of doing even a 20-20?
Yeah.
As in a 40 over game. You understand? 20 overs played by men, 20 overs played by women. So at 40 overs, 10, 10, 10, 10.
10, 10, 10, yeah.
Can you do that? Because the moment you are doing that, you are actually creating a mixed gender template for a multidiscipline games like the CWG, the Asian Games, or the Olympics. I think they've got a head start. They need to put in more nuance. AB de Villiers, Matthew Hayden, Clive Lloyd, big names to back it. They have obviously incredible amount of pedigree in that sense. I think they are already starting to speak to some international women cricketers as well to get them on board. I think they are speaking to some really well established franchise corporates who have been involved, managerial people. So I think from the Olympic standpoint, at some point, even from the standpoint of the IOC, a mixed gender cricket tournament where not they are playing to like this.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the men and
10
women.
overs or 20 overs.
Imagine it. I mean, the dressing room is being shared by both sets of people.
Yeah.
And you're actually strategizing together. Ashmriti Mandhana strategizing with Shubman Gill.
Yeah.
It will be terrific. I mean, people going out.
And the fans who have been fighting and pitting them against each other will now actually get more chances to rejoice.
100%.
Or abuse together.
Imagine a woman captain of a
Oh,
cricket team.
yeah, why not?
So that person going out to toss with a man. I mean, that's where the fun of sport is.
Yeah.
I think these guys are getting it right in the sense that at least an experiment where there is real parity, whether they get it right or wrong is a later issue. But the motive is good.
Yeah.
The motive is equality.
thought
The
process
motive
is
is
there.
sensitive. Correct. The thought is sensitivity, equality, achievement of a level playing field. In that sense, this is real parity and not tokenism. So Gaurav and his team, whether or not they pull it off commercially, whether they make money. See, in a league, the big problem is after year one, what happens? Will they be able to sustain?
Yeah.
Will there be that many number of registrations? The age group between 13 and 19 means the person doesn't have the money. 18, 19, you and I have the money.
Yeah.
Okay, some pocket. But someone who's 13, my daughter,
Yeah.
she's 12.
Yeah.
Will she have money next year to go and register? She will not. She'll have to come and ask the parent. So I think that's where Test 20 will struggle a little bit, that where is the money? But if the parent understands that this is genuine empowerment, I think they've got it.
But also, and this came to my mind when I was coming to office because, and can happily boast about this, that one of our para football girls, our empowerment cup girls, is now currently, as we are shooting this, scoring for India. Something of that sort, one, gives you as I mean, of course, we are extremely happy. That's something we started. And Test 20 is also that sort of a league where you never know what a few of the girls and the guys are going to go ahead and represent the nation.
100%. Why only nation? See, a 13 or a 14-year-old gets into a WPL team trial
Yes.
or a 100 team trial.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
You are actually providing a platform for that because there's nothing like that.
Yeah.
There's an under 13 age group and that kind of tournament. But to have the best talent of the world come together under one platform, whichever country they go to, and it's a global tournament, right? You have talent from across the world. 13 to 19, so you get that opportunity to play with the best of your age group. So if someone or a couple, even if one or two people make it to an IPL team trial, a WPL team trial, something like that, even a Ranji Trophy,
Yeah.
Bengal, under 16, under 17,
Yeah.
whatever trial, I think they will be vindicated. This is definitely, I don't think they're in competition with any established structure.
Right.
This is rather a support to what is already happening. So in that sense, this needs to be embraced. It's a good idea. It's a genuinely good thought. So ultimately, what was the IPL? The IPL was an idea.
Yeah.
That's what the BCCI and Lalit Modi sold when 2008 during them. These fellows have an idea. To what extent they can market it, to what extent they can package it, how they can get corporate support and all of that, I don't know, but I think it's a good idea.
But this is something that every time, I talk about anything related to cricket, that comes to my mind. There is a WPL, there's an IPL, and there is constant cricket. Now even women's team, constant cricket. Do you think there is place for another format?
See, the constant cricket is not for the youth. I don't think this has to be a spectator sport. I don't think so. I think where Test 20 will be successful is as a participatory sport. Like in the US, you've been to the US several times, you will know. Football. Football in the US is not a spectator sport, it's a
Correct.
participatory sport, more for women's football.
Yeah.
Like when I used to teach in the United States, I would see it every park. Women's teams would play the sport. Would they go and watch? Maybe not. But as a participatory sport, it was a massive success. So when it comes to Test 20, I don't need it to be a spectator sport. So the constant cricket, etc., that argument doesn't hold here. For the participatory part, like if I'm a 13-year-old or a 14-year-old, if I get an opportunity,
This is a
to play,
huge platform.
I will go and play. I don't need to watch, whatever game going on. How does it matter to me? That can be for later. I can watch highlights. But if I am getting an opportunity to go and try out my trade, show how good I am or how bad I am, I will not get an opportunity. At least give a trial.
Yeah.
So that I can improve. And from what I understand, these chaps want to mentor people and help them as part of the journey. And then if you get to play that tournament, I think it's a as a participatory sport, this has enormous potential. I don't think they should go for spectator sport. Whether they get this is my assumption. Whether they get TV or not, whether they get big broadcast or not, they shouldn't bother. They should push this as a mass movement, as a participatory sport.
And as you said, I think, the moment there is one WPL breakthrough, one IPL breakthrough,
Story.
one domestic, and the moment it's story, TV,
Everyone will
news,
come.
everything will follow. So that's one. But again, I'll put you to another role, the businessman hat. And this time I'm not asking about Test 20, but about the franchisees. When you say it's participatory sports, so as a franchisee owner, if you were to buy a franchisee, what would be your profit in it?
See, firstly, you have a token fee. So if you think of the league, tell me, Trisha, why is marathon successful? So participatory sport.
Yeah.
So there are thousands now doing it. So the moment you have the youth of your or any country, if you have the numbers, automatically the corporate will come. If a corporate can back a marathon with 20,000 people, 15,000 people, and we have serious corporate support for all these marathons in the country now. Not everything is a Tata Mumbai marathon, but the smaller ones also. You have support. Somebody or the other is supporting. Some corporate, a regional corporate, a local corporate, depending on your scale. So why not Test 20? Ultimately, it's a participatory sport, plus it's cricket, plus it's parity, plus it's mixed gender. So you have the glamour, you have the attraction. You have names like an A.B. de Villiers, a Clive Lloyd, a Matthew Hayden. So you have that kind of pedigree. So if you are able to market this as a participatory sport, and Gaurav Bhaiwan is a smart marketer. He's got a good career behind him of 25, 30 years in the sports marketing field. He's been part of franchise leagues in South Africa, in different parts of the world. I think he should get it. He should market it as a participatory sport. He should understand that corporates will want numbers to get more people to play, to trial out the scouting. There are multiple companies which will want to give talent an opportunity. That should be his target area. If you get broadcast, which I think he's getting, that's an added frill.
Right.
That obviously there is broadcast and putting it out in front of people, but his target audience should be the numbers and now more women.
Absolutely. That's it on today's episode of Test 20. We will keep talking about it because this is something interesting, and of course, Revsportz always is interested in anything that is related to sport. Keep watching Revsportz because we are all over. We are doing pole vault stories. We are doing football, cricket, Europe T20 League, Test 20. It's Revsportz everywhere. So you keep watching Revsportz and do like, share, and subscribe.